Hey guys, welcome to my monthly Q&A. Just want to make sure everything's working okay. Did start a couple of minutes early because why not? I saw people on and I had the time to do so. So, like I said, started a bit early. And I did see a question in the chat already, so I was wondering if any of you guys are waiting. Let me see. Yep, it's all working. Sometimes Google Chrome doesn't work on Google Hangouts. So that's why I have to make sure that the voice is okay. But yeah, so just ask your questions in the chat, comics, movies, TV stuff. One thing I will say, something I'm going to be saving conversation for is Star Wars, like what you think thoughts. Obviously, I have the review, and also we're going to be doing an in-depth Media Madness on that on Friday. And also the Marvel Disney Fox thing. We will be talking about that on Frontline Lives. I don't want to really repeat my opinion, so I probably won't talk about it here unless it's like a really specific question, and probably save my thoughts for Frontline Live if you want my thoughts on the whole Marvel Disney stuff. But let's get into it. Let's see what questions we got here. Oh, we got a lot of people. Oh, I see Branton J. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so first we got a question for Jeremy. Mr. J's comic reviews, which I think is now Mr. J's reviews. Hey, Kat, what are some of your favorite non-comic book shows that you're currently watching? I wish I was watching more TV than I am. I am caught up on a lot of comic shows, but a lot of non-comic shows, I would say probably more comedies. I'm fully caught up on, like my ABC comedies. Got The Middle, Fresh Off the Boat, which I love, Modern Family. I think that's it from ABC that I watch. And then The Good Place, which I'm like a couple episodes behind on, but do watch that. What else do I watch? Just catching up on The Big Bang Theory. Other shows, I need to finish The Punisher. That's one that's on the list to finish. Want to watch Westworld, but waiting until we get that announcement date before I do so. There's other shows I really want to watch too that's been on the list, but those are ones from the top of my head that kind of on the list that I want to watch. So, yeah. If you guys have any questions of specific shows, if I watch them or not, I could let you know on those. Of course, the big ones I'm watching at this moment, obviously, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. I'm a little behind on Arrow. I'm caught up on Flash, behind on Riverdale, so I do have to catch up with that. I'm gonna hopefully just watch the whole season, or at least the whole half of the season when I have a break. And Runaways, of course, I am all caught up on Runaways. We got Woba Fett Boy saying hi. Delanto Green saying hi. Pontius says hello. Thoughts on the canceled Justice League Dark concept art? I didn't really click on anything for the concept art since I'm not a big Justice League Dark fan, so don't have thoughts on it. Jay has a good question. Jay asks, what are your thoughts on, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, the new Marvel editor-in-chief, Soblowski's thing, which if you haven't heard, it's him using like this Japanese pen name from years ago. I think it was wrong, but at the same time, I think he knows it's wrong now, and it was a mistake he made a long time ago. And now that he was Marvel editor-in-chief, it's something that's kind of come up. I do think he should have taken not as long to apologize. I think he just apologized today about it. So I think maybe he should apologize when it was like the week that was all going on. But yeah, I don't know enough about, again, the stories he made and all that, so I don't have a big opinion. But again, I think in at least he should have, like I said, apologized the week it was going on, and not take it so long. But it's good that he did apologize, and hopefully he learns from his mistakes. All right, moving on to, oh yeah, Superstore I also watched, Jeremy. That's a really good one. I forgot about that. I think maybe I'm like 2 episodes behind on it, but I do love Superstore. I think actually Brant's the one who recommended Superstore to me. Jay says you need to watch Kevin Probably Saves the World. See, Jay, I really want to watch it, but I have a feeling it's gonna get canceled. So I gotta ask you if it ends on a cliffhanger and if it doesn't get canceled. If it doesn't get canceled, I will 100% binge that in summer. I remember when we were doing the upfronts, that's a show I really wanted to watch, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Last year, I had too many shows that were canceled, and I really got into, and they only lasted the one season. So can't do that to myself. Just can't. Brant says we've been waiting on Kevin Probably Saves the World. That's to see if it gets picked up. Brant, you have the same mentality as me. You just don't want to be burned again. And it's one of those shows I feel like that would be on the bubble if it's got to get picked up or not. Brant says 2 episodes behind Riverdale. Superstore is awesome, Jeremy. Love it. So you are ahead of me on Riverdale, Brant. What with Fat Boy? Do you think General Grievous is overrated? Who's General Grievous? I'm going to look him up. Very in Star Wars. I just looked him up. So he looks very much more hardcore Star Wars fan character. I'm definitely more of a casual Star Wars man, so I don't know anything about the character. Brant says the first couple episodes were good of Kevin. We haven't watched past that. And once again, Brant, you are ahead of me. And Jay says if you like Joan of Arcadia, you'd like Kevin. I did really enjoy Joan of Arcadia. I know that was one of the selling points you were telling me, Jay. Jeremy says adding it to the list. Currently watching The Good Doctor, much better than I expected. See, The Good Doctor I know is not a show I would like. It's like one of those shows I'm not surprised it's doing well, but it looks so procedural and just not my type of show. So I will not be watching The Good Doctor. I think my parents watch it. Delanto says, hey, Kat, what channel or site Teen Titans show coming on? We don't know what the name of the site is yet, Delanto, so keep watching those comic sites or Comic Frontline. We'll definitely have news about that. Brant, have you ever watched Red Oaks or Silicon Valley? I've not watched Red Oaks. I believe I watched an episode of Silicon Valley. Let me see. Might be thinking of another show. Silicon Valley. Let's see. TV show. Not watched an episode of Silicon Valley, actually. I was thinking of another show. So I've heard of Silicon Valley. I've not heard of Red Oaks. I'll have to check those out. Jay says, which comic book character deserves a new title for DC and Marvel? DC? Oh, man. DC, they've actually done a good job. Oh, well, you know what? Shazam / Captain Marvel. There you go. Shazam / Captain Marvel. I was going to say they've done a good job at spreading out their characters, but there's a character that needs one. Justice Society of America, obviously. And then Marvel, they need to cancel some titles first before they get new ones. But, hey, I always say Spider-Girl. That's always a safe bet. All right, moving on to Brant. I also got really into another series Ritter was in, The Event, and they canceled it on a cliffhanger, so I'm overly cautious about Kevin. I understand that. I remember The Event. I think maybe I saw an episode of it, but never past that. Jeremy says, with the Skrulls being official and the Vision seemingly having a human form, do you think we'll eventually get Young Avengers in Phase 4 or Phase 5? I hope so. I mean, especially with popularity of Kate now. Brant says Red Oaks is a throwback, takes place in a country club in the 80s. It's something we've gotten into lately on Amazon. That actually sounds really cool. Another one. Oh, there's another show I really desperately need to get into. Miss Maisel. Only heard good stuff from everybody I know. I don't know, Jay, you did watch it? I know I asked Jay if he ended up watching it. I think he didn't watch it yet. But he's heard good stuff also. But I just, like, everyone I talk to is really into television and is in, like, the TV world. They're just like, watch the show, watch the show. So I need to watch that show. I just watched 2 episodes. One of my friends made me watch 2 episodes of a British comedy. I believe it was called Melinda. That was fun. So yeah, you know me. I always like to dabble. So I do, but yeah, Miss Maisel, I need to watch because I've just been hearing really good stuff. All right, let's see. Overlord Shaq says Marvel has a lot to cancel. And yeah, Jay says he will be watching it. So maybe we'll do like a Media Madness if we end up watching it at the same time. And yes, Marvel does have a lot to cancel. We'll see if they end up doing it. Brand says, yeah, that's a good show. Maisel, we still have 3 episodes to go, but it's good. Yeah, I heard the writing is just superb for that show. Charles Shariko says, what comic series would you like to see adapted small to / big screen? I think a long time ago I would have said the Runaways, and now that's happening, so that's really cool. Again, I always say Spider-Girl. I would really like to see, I know they're doing Batgirl, Barbara Gordon for a movie, but I think with the whole Titan stuff, it'd kind of be cool to see them try Birds of Prey again. I would really like to see the DC digital service, whatever they're calling it, do a Birds of Prey show. And Jeremy also says, another friend who, knows his television, says Marvelous Mrs. Maisel looks fantastic. It does. It does look fantastic. Yeah, so keep coming with the questions, guys. Charles Shariko says, yeah, you can always say Spider-Girl. Yeah, see, it's a safe answer. And yeah, Spider-Girl is an answer. It could be an answer for a lot of things, so that is okay. But yeah, guys, keep coming with the questions. I guess I could update you guys of what's going on with the channel and stuff as I wait for more questions. Jay is in the comments. We will have a Media Madness this coming week. Sorry for kind of the weird schedule we've been having. It is my fault. It's just, and I think all of us is just like, Christmas is coming, holidays are coming. It's a little bit crazier and hectic around this time. So hopefully after January, we'll be more on a weekly basis with Media Madness. But we will have Star Wars. We have plans for, a lot of January shows. We have a plan for the week after Star Wars too. So even with the holidays, we're still doing stuff. So Star Wars at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, we'll be doing that. And then tomorrow we have Frontline Live. So we'll be discussing a lot of stuff there. It should be a fun show. But the week after, we will not be having a show because it's the day after Christmas. So that's the week we decide to take a break. Hopefully, not too much comes out from that week that we miss out on. But we will obviously talk about it the week after, anyways. I just posted videos on Comic Frontline. If you like my indie comic book spotlight videos, I do where I try to put a spotlight on creator-owned comics. So go check that out. I had a new topic video over there. This will be this Wednesday, so I don't know what I'm going to have until tomorrow, so I'll have the list for you on Frontline Live, what I'll be covering, and that's pretty much it, I think. Always check out my Twitter for more stuff, and then, my comic book, and if you want to ask questions about They Call Her Dancer or Life Valley Daughter, that's definitely open too. Always working hard on that stuff, and big plans for 2018. And also go check out Brant's book, and because Brant and Jay are in the comments, go check out all of the Last Ember Press stuff. Really great books there too. Anything else I wanted to share? I don't think so. Maybe I'll remember something as we. But that'd be good just to update you guys as we're getting more questions here. Okay, so we got Cayman Dark Rider says, do you read Red Hood and the Outlaws? I did for a short amount of time. It's not a bad book. I definitely liked it. I just wasn't a hardcore fan of any of the characters that were in it. So if I had to drop some books, that was kind of one that was on chopping block. And I guess that's a new name, the dropping block. So the chopping block. But yeah, so I did drop it a little while ago. But I believe Michael is reading Comic Frontline, and Jay is. Scotty says, hey, Kat, hope you're having a chill Monday night. I am. Chill Monday. Overlord Shax is, after Infinity War, I would love to see an Avengers Secret Invasion movie. Which Marvel story arc would you like to see adapted as a film? See, they never truly adapt their story arc, so they usually just use the name of it. So I don't really have any in mind, but new news, I think it'd be cool. Maybe Avengers vs. X-Men. I think that would be a huge movie if they end up doing that. So we got Brant, who gave a smiley face. Scotty, who gave a thumbs up. He also said happy holidays to Comic Uno peeps. Brant says, any New Year's resolutions? No, because I feel like a lot of things I wanted to change, I did earlier in the year. I didn't say, hey, let's wait until January. I was like, no, you know what? I got to do this now. So a lot of those type of things I did earlier in the year. So now I just, continuing, I guess, what I've been doing, I guess. But yeah, no New Year's resolutions this year. I'm usually bad with those anyways. All right, we got Jeremy says, who would you cast as the MCU Sue Storm? I don't know. I can't tell you. Let me know some of your opinions on Sue Storm. Maybe I'll be like, yeah, that's the perfect one. Then we got Simon Baz, who says, what do you want to see in Wonder Woman 2? Just the goodness that we got in the first one. I keep, rooting for Cheetah. I would like to see Cheetah as a villain. I think that'd be really interesting. But yeah, just continuing what they've been doing. If it's as good as the first film, I'd just be happy. Oh, we got a couple questions here from Jay. What's your most rewarding moments as a YouTuber, comic critic, and comic creator? It's a good question. As a YouTuber, meeting everybody, I would say, meeting my friends, obviously everyone on Frontline, we're a family there. And then, my good friends, Jeremy's in the comments now, Tony, Mike Real School, Joe and Rob, or Mother Robert. So just meeting everybody is definitely my biggest accomplishment. And then as a comic critic, I mean, working for websites like Newsarama and IGN has been a dream come true. And then as a comic creator, seeing people that I look up to knowing my comic and buying my comic has been amazing. And just people reading my comic in general has been really cool. And hearing stories of, people being affected by the book is really cool. So that's a good question, Jay. We got Flash the Shape Chapter and Tevye say hi. And Jay says a real blonde for Sue Storm. I agree. Oh, and you know what, Jay? The only actress I could think of that had blonde hair was Kaley Cuoco. I'm like, I don't want to see Kaley Cuoco as Sue Storm. It was like the only actress I could think of. Brand Fowler. I don't know why I said your last name, but Brand Fowler. If you could write an episode of any show on TV right now, what would be your top 3 choices? Brent, that's really good. So Runaways. I gotta go with my Runaways. Supergirl. And The Gifted, I would say. I think it'd actually be really fun to write an episode of The Gifted. So those are my top 3. I mean, of course, I would like Arrow also, but those are my top 3 right now. I can't pick more. So Tevye, you weren't here earlier, but I will not really be talking about Star Wars here unless there's a specific question, because we are doing a Media Madness on Friday. And I did a review, so if you really want my opinions on The Last Jedi, go check out the review. Yeah, so Jay says she said she is saving it for Media Madness. And I don't want to spoil my thoughts for Jay. I've actually been really good by keeping my mouth shut in any chats I've been with Jay. So I've been trying to keep my mouth shut, that way he doesn't know my opinion. So, especially because this has been such a divided movie. All right, Flash the Shape Chapter. So heads up, I didn't see Star Wars yet. Please don't spoil too much. Well, there you go. I won't be talking about it at all, really. Jeremy says, what's working for IGN like? Awesome. It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just an experience I only dreamed of, and now it being a reality, it's really cool. And I get to review a lot of different comics, which is awesome. I didn't really have the opportunity to do that with written reviews as much, even with video reviews. Besides Comic Inno episode, I really only had time maybe review 5 comics a week. So it's nice to have the opportunity to review that many comics in one article, and a diverse amount of comics that I have on my pull list. Just going to load those comments. Mike Irish says, what are your thoughts on Doomsday Clock? I really enjoyed the first issue a lot. I'm a big Watchmen fan, so that was a pretty perfect first issue. Can't say much about the miniseries as a whole because we only have 1 issue, but again, the issue we did get, I really enjoyed. Tevye, any opinion on Gambit movie still happening? Not really. I've never been a huge Gambit fan, so I don't have, a lot of money in that pot, I guess. But if it's happening, it's happening. I don't hate Channing Tatum as an actor, so we'll see what happens. And with this Fox deal, we really will see what happens. Okay. Jay says Hollywood's littered with blonde actresses. I know, but since I'm on the spot, I don't have any answers for you, Jay. Jeremy says, how hard did you fangirl when Tom DeFalco read your book? Oh, pretty hard. I've met Tom DeFalco a couple of times, and each time I've fangirled pretty hard. It's awesome that he's supported my books in the past, and yeah, it's really cool. And if you guys don't know, he's my favorite writer, creator for comics, so it's been pretty awesome. Tevia says, why Arrow? Why not? That's my answer. Came in Dark Rider. If you have 4 books and all of them have 3 stars, why one of them? Okay, sorry. If you have 4 books and all of them have 3 stars, why one of them is number 1 and the other is number 4? I'm a little confused by your comment, Cayman, because I've never had 3-star books in my top 5 at all. Yeah, so I don't know. Get your comment on that. Flash to Shapeshifter. Why is Gambit still happening? I guess they have hope for it. Overlord Shaq. Which comic book movie / show has disappointed you as a viewer? Right now, honestly, Arrow and Flash has been disappointing. Okay, Scotty Showman says, when I watch Runaways, I think, wow, this is such a Comic Uno show. The high school is superpowers characters. Is Runaways the closest to a perfect show for you? I think, for me, yes. For my full enjoyment, 100% yes. It's definitely close for a perfect show. But as like a critic and as a writer myself, I don't think it's perfect, but I love it. And I have perfect enjoyment out of the show. Overlord Shax says, I hated the Inhumans. See, but I didn't have any expectations for the Inhumans, so. Oh, Tevia, I wish you were here before. What about Disney / Fox deal? See, I'm not talking about that until Frontline Live, which I know you'll be watching, so I will not be touching on the Fox or Marvel deal because I don't want to repeat my opinions on that if I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow. Okay, let's go. Moving on. Sky said that's awesome. You met Tom DeFalco. Scotty Showman says, did you meet Willa Holland? What was that like? I did at I think it wasn't this year's Heroes Villains Fan Fest, but last year's, and that was awesome. I mean, I usually don't pay to meet celebrities or do the autograph stuff. I usually just don't do that. But when I saw Willa Holland there, I was like, I gotta do this, and I did. And I mean, it was quick, but I got the autograph, took a picture. It was pretty cool. All right. Next is from Jeremy. What's your pull limit? I try to keep under 30 titles. We can't all be J. Wow, I feel like I'm talking in third person. Yeah, that is true. But at least you spelled it with J-A-Y. So now you're not speaking in third person. But for me, I honestly try to keep it at the 20 book a week limit. I know that's, a bit higher, but I remember there was a time when I was getting to like 30 books a week, and I'm like, oh, this is a little bit too much for me. So at this point, I am up to like 18 to like 25 books a week. Usually it is 20. So I'm in my limit now, and I drop books, I pick up books, and usually I'm able to stay at that limit. Mike Iris says, do you hope Disney and Marvel will take the X-Men movies in more of a superhero genre? See, this is a question that's a bit more specific, so I can answer this. In a more superhero genre than Fox films, which were more sci-fi. Yes, definitely. I would like to see that. I think, honestly, The Gifted does a really good job at what they've been doing with the X-Men. If they kind of follow that formula, I wouldn't mind. Jay says, nothing was mentioned about Gambit. It's still happening. Yeah, it's just that it hadn't been talked about for a while, but it's still happening. Mike Iris says, oh, forget my question then. No, so that was less specific, so it's fine. Or unless you're talking about your Gambit question, I don't know. Oh, hey, Jesse. Jesse's in the comments. Mike says, thoughts on Tom King's Batman run? I love it. I actually like his run more than Scott Snyder's run. Steven Verasami says, do you think the idea of a group of villains rather than a single villain, who do you think will die this? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. What is this, a show? Is that a TV show? What are you talking about? Scotty says that's so cool for Willa Holland. So it's cool that Willa Holland should be happy she met me, or we got Jeremy. Runaways was definitely a show designed for our taste, but I know the way they pronounce Carolina still throws me off. I know I still pronounce her Carolina. I think Carolina is kind of weird. I just got to go the Carolina route. Jay will call me a hypocrite because I don't call Kara for Supergirl. The Kara, like, it does roll off the tongue a little bit better. But yeah, Carolina is just kind of weird. So I stick with Carolina. Other than that, she's perfect in the show and everyone else is perfect in the show. All right, Cayman says, I mean, if all the books have the same stars, why do you put one in a higher place in the same book with the same stars in a lower place? So with my rating system, it's not like I have a 3-star book, a 3.5-star book, and then a 3-star book. So it's all of the 3-star books in one place. But sometimes it's hard to explain, but sometimes a 3-star book in its genre could be a little bit higher than another one. So then again, I don't mix match them. So if you watch Comic Uno episode, I will always have 2 stars, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 3, 3, 3. They can't all be the same. They can't all take the same slot. So that's the explanation. Again, I would never go like 4 stars to 3 stars to 5 stars. That's wrong. But I would never do that. It's always in the order of 3 stars, 3, 3, 3, 3.5, 3.5. So hopefully that explains it to you. Again, you just can't put all the books in one slot. So you just decide which book you like the most. I think Jay and Brent, if they're still in the comments, could kind of describe that more too, and the way they do their process. But they also know I'm very meticulous with my ordering. I'm not like, oh, I'm just going to throw this book because it's here. It's like, no, I'm very much like, this is number 5. This is number 4. I'm very meticulous with that. So. All right, we got the Flash to Shapeshifter. I'm still shocked after that Gifted cliffhanger. Me too. I didn't think they would go that route. Stephen Vassami was talking about Arrow, if they should have a group of villains or one villain. I personally like the one villain route more than a group of villains. I think it's too hard to focus on. Mike Irish says, thoughts on who the new Rorschach is. I mean, I think it's just an unknown person. I don't think it's like someone we know. So we'll just learn more about him as the series goes on. Just like the mime and I forget the girl's name, Maniac, I think. Just like their characters, we're just going to learn more about them. They are new characters, though. At least in my opinion. Jay says, LOL, hypocrite, which that was out of my Carolina comment. I knew Jay was going to say that. JLS says, North Carolina. That's why I have to say Carolina, so it doesn't sound like a state. But I'm okay with her sounding like a state. It makes more sense. Steven says, sorry, my bad, typing while eating Doritos. I wish I was eating Doritos, so I understand. Steven says, so yeah, I answered that. Who do you think will die this season? I'm behind this season, so I can't tell you if anyone's going to die. I don't know. Scotty says, looking back at comics and TV this week, what was the most enjoyable and stood out? I can't say for comics because we are going to talk about that Frontline Live tomorrow, so I can't say that. For TV, a lot of stuff are on hiatus, actually. So, I mean, I would go with Runaways. I really liked the last episode, even if I had some problems with the Carolina arc. I understood definitely what they were going for, but I think some of the execution could have been better. But yeah, so I got to go with Runaways. And then tonight will be a new episode of Runaways. So I'll see how I feel about that one. Well, we got more Runaways questions. Jeremy says, speaking of Runaways, it seems like the show might actually do Carolina and Nico, judging by last week's episode. Do you think it'll happen, and do you want it? I'm on a fence about it. Oh, that's a great question. You know, I love that. I'm answering Carolina questions. I think it might happen, actually. From the interviews that they were doing, I do think it's going to happen. And I'm cool with it. I think this TV show is allowed to be different from the comic, but at the same time, the comic always kind of had it that obviously Carolina liked Nico. But I think Nico always liked Carolina, but just didn't know how to say it. She never knew how to express her feelings about that. I think even in this one, you really see the awkwardness between the two. You always felt kind of that awkwardness between the two characters, which is what made their friendship so complicated and fun. So I'm game for it. I'm really excited. I think they've been doing Carolina's coming out story really well, or even not even coming out, but her discovery of who she is really well. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they kind of end it for the season, if she will let people know, or if she's even really, well, she's starting to figure it out now for herself, but if she's gonna let Nico know. And going into that scene with Gert, that was kind of my problem, was more towards Gert, because I felt like her just like kind of saying, oh, Carolina, you like Nico, was kind of the wrong thing to do. But I understood what they were trying to do with it, but the execution for me was kind of wrong. And then the way Carolina lashed out made a lot of sense, but at the same time, I just didn't love the way it all happened. I think that could have been executed a bit better. And it was a big chunk of the episode. But yes, Carolina and Nico, I'd be game if it ends up happening in the show. All right, we got Brant, who says, if you have two books with the same star rating, so this is about the star rating, so I'm gonna read this. If you have two books with the same star rating, you have to decide on the smallest level which you enjoy just a little more. Could be any factor that makes that decision. Exactly, Brant. You definitely said it more eloquently than I did. So hopefully that answers your question. I know it's kind of hard if you're not a reviewer, like that could be a little bit complicated, but that's usually how it does work. See, it doesn't make sense though if you put like 3.5, 4 stars, then your next one's 3.5. Then it's like, all right, you got your rating systems a little mixed up. But this is like, if it's all 3s and then a 3.5, it makes sense. All right. Jay says, yes, the tiebreaker is the personal level for me, which did I enjoy more? Yeah, it's like kind of more of a gut feeling. It's like, all right, I think I like this more. And also, I mean, I still add like art elements and story elements, which I thought was better and which did it better. Flash the Shapeshifter. I'm only reading Power Rangers at the moment, slow but surely. What comics do you recommend? See, I love that question, but it's hard to answer that question when I don't know you personally. So you have to tell me which characters do you like or what you're looking for, and that's the easier way to recommend comic books. Overlord Shaq. Which current DC or Marvel title do you like reading? DC-wise, I really like Batman. I did like Green Lanterns. I don't currently like that as much. Batman White Knight's really good. I really like the Bat titles in general, but mostly I like the Batman stuff is really good. What else am I really enjoying from DC? Those are the two big ones. Then from Marvel, I mean, I always enjoy Spider-Gwen, Miss Marvel. Runaways, of course, I've been really enjoying. So those are the 3 I can think of. All right. Jesse says, I love Nico. Me too. Brant, which part of Carolina's arc did you not care for in the latest episode? So yeah, I just felt like I was saying before, I feel like it was the way Gert kind of injected herself over there. And again, I totally get it. And I think it was really good for, I guess, a coming out story. But I feel like it was more for the forced drama than actually having these two characters who were friends to talk about this. So I don't know. It was weird. I felt like it was executed weirdly. And then it made the whole episode. And I guess for the next episode, it's going to be kind of this weird interaction between Gert and Carolina that I feel like is more for the drama than anything, or maybe even more just stalling. I don't know. So I just felt like that could have been done better. But I think the ideas they had were really well done. You know, the whole chase scene, Carolina trying to accept herself and being in denial, I think makes a lot of sense and is really good for the arc. It just, the way they did it could have been a little better. Not the chase scene. I think the chase scene was good. But I guess the way she went to chase, I think could have been better. Let me see. Steven says, how do you feel about Zari on Legends? I think she's great. I think she's a good addition. Flash to Shape chapter, Spider-Man for one, Batman, I just been out of comics recently. I don't know what's happening. Batman, I would just start out with volume 1 of Tom King's Batman, and then go from there. And then Spider-Man is a bit harder to recommend, just because they're kind of getting their footing back. But right where Marvel Legacy starts, I guess you could start where Amazing Spider-Man is. It's kind of a new chapter. So that first part of his Marvel Legacy arc, I would start for Spider-Man. And I always recommend Spider-Gwen. And I would start with probably the beginning of Spider-Gwen. Scotty says, fave holiday movie. I don't have... yes, the Santa Claus, I would say. Santa Claus is my favorite holiday movie. I haven't seen it in a while, though. Nathan says, where do you see... Oh, also, I liked... what is it called? Something Eve. It was actually like a Lifetime movie, but I loved it since a kid. It was a actress from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Really liked that one, too. Nathan says, where do you see ESPN going since their ratings are continuing to fall? I don't know much. I don't know enough about ESPN to really tell you about the future of them. So I know, I think maybe we were the ones who had the discussion about ESPN failing for sure, but I don't have enough to say where it's going to go. I don't know much about their programming besides that they show sports, I'm guessing, and documentaries. Jay says, who is doing the Christmas village around the tree this year since Alex is in Florida? So we did not do the decorations this year, but Alex, I think he's decorating a lot at his house. So I'm excited to see some pictures of that. So we didn't do the village this year. Maybe another year. We were too lazy. Alex, he has the stamina to do the village. We did not. I definitely did not have the stamina to do the village. Jeremy says, favorite movie of the year so far. Mine was Call Me by Your Name. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. It's totally up to your alley. Shocker, I didn't say it was Star Wars. Call Me by Your Name. I have to see what that one's about. I am going to do a top 5 favorite movies. I believe this week I'm going to have that topic video up, so wait for that. I'll definitely check that one out. Some movies I made that list was Disaster Artist, but I haven't had the chance to see it. I'll probably have to see it after I make that list. And also, I heard The Shape of Water was really good, but it's very limited theaters, so I might have to wait for that one too. But Disaster Artist, I do want to see in theaters. Hopefully, I can. I got to see some Oscar films. Haven't had a chance. Anyways, going to Winter Sky. Have you read Ragman? No, but we've made many jokes about Ragman on Frontline Live. Wally West, how would you summarize the high points and low points of 2017 for comic books? Also, what's your plan for Christmas? For Christmas, I'm spending time with my brother, so very excited about that. So we should be having a really fun Christmas. And for the low and high moments of comics. So the low moments, I guess books I was disappointed with. So like Justice League of America, we were all really excited for, and then that was a disappointment. Superwoman. What else? I guess Marvel Legacy as a whole, just not being as eventful as I think we all thought it would be. Just the events, obviously. But the high points, there was a lot of high points. I think the indies really ruled it for me. I liked Heavy Vinyl a lot, / Hi-Fi Fight Club, Paper Girls. Loved Power Rangers this year. I thought Power Rangers really rocked it, and it seems like next year they're going to even do better. So I really liked a lot of indies this year. And then, a lot of books I've already been enjoying, like Batman. Like I said, I've been really enjoying. And my faves, like Runaways Coming Back was awesome. It was the year of the Runaways. But then also, books I've already loved, like Spider-Gwen and Miss Marvel. Amazing Spider-Man getting better, I thought was good. I mean, it's still not like in my top 5 by any means, but it's getting better from what it was. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, we will be doing our Frontline Awards. So you're going to get a lot of like what we thought as a group there. And I'm really excited about that. So definitely stay tuned for that. We're working on it. All right, moving on to, and we load some of these. Let's go to Sky Showman. How do you come up with new ideas for your comic? What helps your creative process? I kind of look at comics and see what's not there. I look at genres and characters I like and kind of go from there. That's honestly how The Dancer and like Follow My Daughter came about. The Dancer is just like, I haven't seen a book or really many books go into this psychological depth, A, for a comic, and B, and you'll see the psychological depth it takes, and B, seeing a comic about dance and martial arts. I always felt like these are two things that people don't notice are similar and don't really talk about it. So that was a big concept for The Dancer. And then like Follow My Daughter again at the time, there wasn't a lot of families, and I wanted a character to, I kind of just realized this recently, but I wanted a character who's usually the supporting character to be the main character. It's more about relationships than anything, and definitely about superheroes, but it's always about the relationship, probably even more than the superhero events that are going on. So yeah, that's kind of how I came up with the concepts for that and other stuff that I've written. But yeah, for the two books that are out, those are how I kind of came up with the concepts. All right, moving on to Jay. What TV, past or present, would you pitch as a comic? Secret World of Alex Mack. I totally would have ideas for that. Definitely would like to write a Secret World of Alex Mack comic book. Flash Shapeshifter. Oh, is Renew Your Vows still happening? It is. It's okay. I think there's the best part was definitely their Venom arc. But right now they're finding their footing again with Marvel Legacy, but it's still a book and it's good. Definitely worth reading. So then we got Jay says, LOL, I knew it wasn't you doing The Village. Oh, for sure it wouldn't be. It definitely wouldn't. Jeremy says, I'd love to do a Danny Phantom comic series done by Boom or IDW or Kid Possible. Those are good too. I definitely take you up on those offers. Jeremy says, Call Me by Your Name is a teenager exploring himself and sexuality to coming to terms with it. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even hear about it. That's awesome. I love stories that's about like finding yourself. I think identity stories are the best. So that definitely sounds interesting. Flash the Shapeshifter. I miss Lego Batman Kong. I'm scared I'll miss Thor because my brother keeps delaying it. I didn't even know Thor was still in the movies. But yeah, Lego Batman's definitely worth it. I didn't even remember that Kong was a thing, honestly. So I have no opinions on that one. Girl, how did she defeat the Punisher? It was a team effort. It was her and Punisher going face to face, but then the New Warriors coming to help her out. Chips. You ever put potato chips in a burger? I haven't. Beatles. Which song comes around most in your playlist these days? Oh damn. We Can Work It Out has been coming up on my playlist a lot for the Beatles. But it's always changing with the Beatles, which song I'm listening to the most currently. A Day in the Life was a big one. I listened to a lot. Still is. And Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Wonder why I'm a Carolina fan. Bluba McFarland says, have you read Batman TMNT Crossover Part 2? It's good. Not TMNT fan, so I have not read it. Overlord, which MCU character do you dislike? I hate War Machine. I feel like he's just in the way. Who would I hate? I hate the potential of them not using Black Widow correctly. Bobby says, did you like New Witchblade issue 1? Bobby, I did a review, so go check that out if you want my opinion on that. MT says, hey. Flash the Shapeshifter, most hated MCU character, Black Widow. There you go. Bobby says, never mind. Oh, there you go. Also, never mind. I see the video on the sidebar. Definitely check it out. Hopefully, I'd hear your opinions. Simon Baz, are you going to read Harley Quinn again with the new creative team? Probably not. MT, why do you think so many comic writers are bald? They pull out all their hair after writing all those comics. Oh, Sky Showman says, eggnog, thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down for me. My brother loves eggnog, though. All right. Luba, OMG, my phone lagged when you answered my question. What did you say? I don't even know. Let me see your question. Oh, I said I don't like TMNT. Savage Goat says, trying to get back into comics after 1.5 years. What titles do you recommend? Like I said, I don't remember to who. Tell me what you usually like, and that's easier to recommend for people I don't know. When I usually, know people, I know what they usually like and other stuff, and it's easier to recommend. But let me know what you're looking for, because that's the only way to really recommend a title. Because I might like something, but doesn't mean it's for your taste. All right, we got MT just came back from seeing The Last Jedi. Jeremy says my Father Daughter and They Call Her Dancer reviews will be up on Wednesday. Reread them last night. This time you'll have to see the video to hear my thoughts. Oh man, I'm excited. I am really excited to hear Jeremy's thoughts on that. Go check out his channel and subscribe if you would like to check out those videos. And just in general, you should subscribe. Bobby, you think Enchantress download will play the Raven from Injustice? See, I don't really play Injustice much, so I don't have many opinions on that. Last Shape Chapter. Wait, Twitch Blade is back? Yep, it is. Scotty says, I used to hate the Nog. It grows on you, though. I love it now. MT, are you going to see Ocean's 8? I'm going to try. From what I've seen, it looks cool. The trailer, I think, officially comes out tomorrow. Then we got Jay. Let me see. MT, have you read Umbrella Academy? I have not. Jay says, I have to have a glass every year on my birthday and on Christmas Eve. So Jay's a Nog fan. Savage Goat. I was collecting a lot of New 52, and then for Marvel, it was mostly 70s, 80s. But what characters usually Savage? That helps a little bit more. Jeremy, talking about eggnog. Blueba says, do you like the 2008 Deadpool run by Daniel Way? I did not read it. Then we got some more eggnog discussion. But yeah, keep coming with the questions, guys. I'll probably go on for another 15 minutes, or depending on when questions start and end. So I'll give it another 15 minutes because I did start early, and it's only 8:30. So definitely keep going with the questions. Again, it could be comics, movies, TV. If you want to talk about Follow Daughter Dancer, I can answer questions about those too. YouTube questions, let me know, and try answering them. All right, let's see if there's more in there. Okay, let's see. Brant likes the Nog too, so I guess I'm alone. Savage Goat says Batman and Spider-Man titles. Currently, there's not a lot of good Spider-Man titles, sadly. But if you're looking for classic Spider-Man stuff, read Renew Your Vows. I don't think it's a perfect series, but it's fun. And then Spider-Gwen, I always recommend. If you like Spider-Man, I think you'll enjoy Spider-Gwen. And then those are current books. Obviously, I could recommend old titles if you'd like. For Spider-Man, which would be a lot easier. Always recommend Spider-Girl. And then Batman, honestly, just read the current Tom King run of Batman. It's been really good. Just pick up from volume 1 and go from there. I really like it personally. Let's see. Jesse says, either one really, as long as it has rum in it. For the eggnog. Bobby, do you have a superhero ugly Christmas sweater? I don't have any ugly Christmas sweaters, and I'm okay with that. Savage Goat says Daredevil. Well, I recommend definitely the Mark Waid run if you haven't read that for Daredevil. DNGN, what's a good day job for superheroes with secret identities that haven't been done? Done to death, like reporter, private eye, or cop. I will say I have an idea for Casey's job, which is, I feel unconventional, but works for her character. I won't say it because I don't want to spoil it, and I don't know how I would even fit in a story right now because they are in high school. But I know their future lives pretty well. So yeah, Casey have an interesting one. I don't know if it would work so well with being a superhero, but it'd be fun to see her balance it. So that's all I'm gonna say. All right. Jay says, so Jesse just likes rum. let's go. Savage Goat, Supergirl, and Justice League. Not the current run of Supergirl, but Supergirl being super, I recommend. And Justice League, you read the New 52 stuff, but Jeff Johns' Justice League is pretty solid. I do recommend that. Jeremy says, I'm with Jesse on that rum is the deciding factor. So what type of rum is the real deciding factor? Not what type of nog, but what type of rum. Flash the Shapeshifter. The more I see the Batman Ninja trailer, the more excited for it I am. Please be good. I had the opposite reaction when I saw the trailer. Scotty says, let me see. I'm getting kind of scared watching Frontline Live. It's getting zanier, wilder, yet funnier by the week. What's the most nuts Frontline Live you can remember? It's every episode of Frontline Live. I don't know. If Brant and Jay are still in the comments, maybe they'll know. I don't know. Every single one. I would say recently, I think the one that me, Brant, and Jay did, I think ourselves, where continuity Jay and Sassy Cat became the B. That was a pretty crazy Frontline Live. Jay says they are ugly. She's just in denial. I don't have any Christmas sweaters. Francis' favorite Christmas song. I really don't like Christmas songs at all. I don't have a favorite. Such a Grinch. Scotty says, if you were immortal like that pasty guy on Runaways and could live 1,000 years, what 2 other jobs would you like to do in your lifetime? I don't know. I like the jobs I have. It's hard enough to figure out my jobs now. I don't know. I try to maybe like learn a new hobby and figure it out from there. Manny Rosenberg. Hey, what's the deal with this stream? What is it about? It's about asking me questions. That's what's the deal. MT says, if you were given the chance to have Peter Parker retire, marry MJ, and have Miles Morales replacing him with Peter acting as a mentor permanently, would you do it? Probably not. I feel like that would actually, I don't know. I feel like Peter could be married to MJ and not have to retire. And also it's just way too similar to Spider-Girl. Besides, Miles is now replacing him. Flash the Shapeshifter. After I read the first Justice League arc in Rebirth, I never looked back. It was so boring. Yeah, no, that one wasn't very good, and I still haven't picked up Justice League from that. Brian says too many to pick just one. LOL. Yeah, that one was good for recent. Yeah, that was one just because it was recent that I could think of, but there's so many good ones. Jesse says, when will Jar Jar make another cameo on Frontline Live? I have a feeling Jar Jar probably will make another appearance on Media Madness, but I don't know on Frontline Live. MT, did you hear that Bendis is in the hospital again? I did. I'm really saddened about that news. I hope he gets better. Way down. Jay said, how Cat Stole Christmas. Now that's a story I need to read. An event. Harry Bean says, will we see Rampage on Supergirl's show? Also, I still hope that we'll get Jesse Quick versus Cheetah. Also, okay, that's a lot. We probably won't get Jesse Quick versus Cheetah. And who knows about Rampage? I believe Rampage was in the Adventures of Supergirl comic, though. Jay says Jar Jar may appear on Media Madness on Friday. Jeremy says, geez, Cat, humbug much? Jay says she would kick Tiny Tim and steal their turkey. I did say something about kicking Tiny Tim. I have no soul. MT says, have you seen Grant Morrison TV show Happy on Sci-Fi? I've heard good stuff. I have not seen it personally yet, though. Flash the Shapeshifter says, if only Mayday's book was still happening. I know. I'd be happy. Sky says, if you could access anything, what would you access? I would ask. I mean, I always try to ask, like, what would you like to see on this channel? That's always something I try asking. So if you guys want to answer that, you definitely can. What you'd like to see with the channel? I would say, what would you like to see me do? But I feel like you guys would come up with some ridiculous stuff. So what would you like to see on the channel? Rabbit Ears blog. Hey, Kat. Or what would you like to see? What type of books would you like to see me write? Or what type of books would you like to see Brant write, Jay write, the Frontline crew? What do you think they'd be really good at writing? Rabbit Ears blog. Hey, Kat, do you have future plans for your Dancer series? As of right now, it's a 4-issue miniseries, and I think once you read the end, it makes sense of why I'm keeping it as a miniseries. You never know; there might be future stories out there for the franchise, but for right now, right now it's just a 4-issue miniseries. Jesse says Jar Jar should appear on every show unannounced. I think if Chris knew how to do the Jar Jar voice, he definitely would appear more often. MT says, I heard Christopher Priest took over Justice League. He did. I heard it got a little bit better. Still not enough for me to pick it up again, though. I have too many titles. So Rabbit Ears blog, I don't think you were here earlier, but we're going to be talking about the Disney Fox deal on Frontline Live tomorrow. So I'm saving my thoughts. DNGN, most improved comic book character of 2017. Wow. Simon, I think Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz were definitely approved this year. Those are two I could think of. Jeremy says, funny, I always play Tiny Tim in my high school production of Christmas Carol. Typecasting, I tell you. Then we got, hold on. Jay says that don't go near Cat at Christmas, Jeremy. You don't want to see me. Dagger eyes for Tiny Tim. And T says the first 2 episodes are on YouTube right now. Yes, for Happy. I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. Overlord, what do you feel about YouTube Red and all the other stuff YouTube wants people to buy? I'm not buying it. And I don't expect you guys to either. Harry Bean says, planning on trying out new Marvel 2 in 1. Yes, I am. I'll be picking that up, of course. Jay says, what is the best creative advice as a professional gave you since becoming a creator yourself? I guess, honestly, just people have given me advice. Just keep doing what you're doing, don't give up. I think that's always the best advice. Even if things are looking down, you keep at it, you'll get better. And also, one thing I give advice, and I guess I've learned through my experiences, is that yes, critique is hard when you get critiques, but take it, especially if they're giving the time to give you critiques. It's not trolling, obviously, if it's not just like, you suck. But it's actually critiques. This is the good, this is the bad. But listen to those critiques and learn to be a better creator, because anyone could be better at their craft. All right, moving on to Brant. You should do some reviews as your character from the random situations. That would be fun. If the time is right, I'll try doing that. All right, let's go down. Flash Shapeshifter. I need Titans to come out, not just because I'm abandoning the Arrowverse. I've been waiting for this for so long. I need it. Me too. I'm excited for the show. Jeremy, don't plan on it besides going home during the winter. Sucks. LOL. Jay says, I agree, Brant. Jesse says, how do you feel about all the Venom usage lately? I think it's been a bit too much, honestly. Jesse says, Kat said to Tiny Tim, no, you may not have another. Now get out of here. It's such a Grinch. I feel bad for Tiny Tim. Last Shapeshifter, what happened to Cyclops? I think he died. He died, old Cyclops. MT, it's only a matter of time before Disney owns all of Hollywood. They might even buy YouTube. Maybe we won't have YouTube Red then. Jay says she told him, get a job, you mom. JLS says, that's right. Flash Shapeshifter, Disney owning YouTube might be an improvement. I agree with that. I believe they do have like a YouTube partnership thing. Like you could become a partner, and I think it's starts with an M. Disney owns a partnership program. The Omnitron. Did you hear that DC is keeping the Batgirl movie, but no Superman movie on their new slate? I'm okay with that, and I'm very excited for the Batgirl movie. Jay says, when I was your age, I was running my YouTube channel, doing 15 podcasts a week, and working for 5 different sites. You slacker. And I definitely would do that in my grandma voice. When I was your age, I was running my YouTube channel,
doing 15 podcasts a week and working for 5 different sites. Yes, slacker.
See, Grandma's back, Brent. She wasn't doing a review, but she's back. Harry Bean, new rumor of Killer Frost may join Legends tomorrow. I'd be cool with that. I'd really be excited to see that dynamic. DNGN says, have you seen The Last Jedi yet? If so, Abrams or Johnson? I can't answer any of that until our Media Madness for Star Wars. I have seen it, though. That I can't answer. And you go check out my review if you'd like to hear my thoughts. NT, what are your thoughts on the net neutrality bill being revoked? I wish I knew more about the net neutrality bill to really give a solid answer. So I would need more information on myself. I think what I know about it is that with this, they can make like package deals. You just have to pay more money to have the internet pretty much, and everything's going to cost more money. And obviously, I don't want that at all. But again, I don't know the details really give an in-depth thought on it. Besides that, I don't think it's great that you have to pay more for the internet. Oh, there you go, Machinima. That was the one that Disney owns. Let's see. Just lost my spot. Disney owns Cat's Soul or lack thereof. Yeah, so if you blame anyone for anything I do, it's all Disney's fault. Scotty says, I think I'm voting for Sassy Cat roasting Expressive J as Brant watches in amazement as the funniest moment of the year. I hope you do, because that, for me, that was one of the funniest too. I think the funniest part of that is Brant watching in amazement. MT says, have you heard about Star Wars Battlefront 2 controversy? I have not. Jay says, laughed my ass off, and Brand says, love it. Scotty says, you sound like Patty and Selma. A nice impression. A lot of people say I could do Patty from Doug when I have laryngitis. So you're looking for a different Patty and not just a Simpsons Patty. Let's see. Jessie says, and her YouTube channel grew 5 sizes that day. Oh, did I miss something? Yeah, let's see. Winter Sky says, what do you think of ABC Warriors Judge Dredd team up? Don't know what that is. Jeremy says, yes, Grandma Jones returns. MT says, how much do you think of Zack Snyder's Justice League movie was cut? I mean, I think there was definitely about a half an hour cut from the movie. Scotty says, can you say it looks Homer disappeared into fat air in your grandma voice? Okay. I guess it looks like Homer.
It looks like Homer disappeared into fat air.
Harry Bean, I like an animated episode of Flash if Vibe finds an Earth of the Zoo crew. And T says, I'd love to see a director's cut of Justice League. I'm okay with not watching Justice League again. Plus a longer version of Justice League. DNGN, are DC and Marvel too dependent on veteran writers? Yeah, I would say that. I think we need some new creators on for both companies. Flash the Shape Chapter says, I have a comic book idea, even though it's more anime than comic book superheroes. Probably because I really want to try my hands at both a giant themed character and vampire. We'll definitely go to write it. Jay says it's Patty if she was from Long Island. Yeah, I don't know how I get a Long Island accent with it, but from Staten Island, Jay. Jeremy says, Cat Lodge is my favorite cat, especially when Andy has his finger on the mute button. Oh, man. My favorite is Cat Lodge when Andy does not have his finger on the mute button. MT says, have you read Claws by Grant Morrison yet? I haven't, but I know my Frontline crew really likes it. Now, I'm also a Grinch, so I can't read it. Flash the Shape Chapter says, I would watch a Whedon version of Justice League after Thor because I would actually want to watch that one. Yeah, me too. But I don't think Whedon was as involved in Justice League until after. So the director's cut would be Snyder's version. Jay says, I know where you're from. Okay, just making sure. People get it twisted sometimes. They're both islands, but they're both so different. They are different. Anyways, I guess we're starting to wrap up, so I will plug some stuff, and you guys give me your last-minute questions as we start to wrap up the show. So last-minute questions now. And yeah, I mean, I already plugged what was going on. Just once again, we do have Media Madness this Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want our thoughts on Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Tony, Black Critic Guy, will be on there. Jeremy, Mr. J's reviews, comic book reviews will be there. And then tomorrow will be a new episode of Frontline Live. So if you want my thoughts on the whole Marvel, Fox thing, Disney thing, hear it there. We will have, I'm sure, a lengthy discussion on Frontline Live. And again, the week after, we will not have a Frontline Live because it's the day after Christmas. So we decided to take a break. And yeah, and go check out Like Father, Like Daughter and The Dancer if you have a chance. So let's see those last-minute questions. And then once those slow down, I will close the show. DNGN says, should director's cut even count? They definitely shouldn't count. Not saying they shouldn't exist, but I don't think they should count because it's not what you paid for to see on screen. Harry Bean says, I still feel DC needs to do new Who's Who and book spotlights each Earth in its universe. If you can't get it right in the theater, you don't get a second shot on DVD. I agree with Jay. That's just a bonus. Scotty says, would you ever become a sports fan? I mean, I like sports, but nothing that's like, oh my God, I have to watch it every game. I mean, I like going to a sports event. Definitely not a hater. I like playing sports video games, but I don't think I would ever be like, oh, here are my stats for my fantasy basketball team. You know, I don't think I would ever be that hardcore. You do have great enthusiasm. Well, thank you. If you think Stephanie Brown can create crazy excitement, wait until your fave team wins the World Series. See, I don't think I would ever get that dedicated to a sports team. Like, again, I like sports teams, but not to that level. Jesse says, I found out today I have from Friday to the rest of the year off from work. Paid, of course. Damn, Jesse, enjoy yourself. Let's see. We got The Legend, who says hello. Jay says, what is your most prized comic in your collection and why? Probably the What If issue of Spider-Girl, just because personal, I love Spider-Girl. I have more comics that are, you know, more pricey than that, but for personal reasons, that's my favorite. Winner really loves Ragman here. Last to Shape chapter, in your personal opinion, is 5 years in between two seasons too much, first and second? What do you mean by that? Jay says Jesse's going to switch jobs with me for the rest of the year. Yeah, that's what I heard also. That was the rumor. Jesse says, do you ever sell comics from your collection? Rarely. I don't usually sell my books. Yeah, at least not at this point in my life. I haven't sold any of my books. Harry says Multiversity isn't ongoing, plus the sequel hasn't been solicited or announced. MT says, have you heard of Tiger and Bunny? It's a superhero anime on Netflix. You should check it out. I've seen it. It's solid. I like it. I like the later episodes of the show. DNGN, should Marvel bring back more What If books? I would like it. I think it would be fun, but hopefully creative. I wouldn't want them just to spit it out and be like, oh, here's a What If book. And I think that's when it fails. But when they actually really, really think, oh, what do the fans want? That's what I would like to see. Jeremy says, didn't know you played NBA 2K. I'd play you if you had a PS4. Oh, man. Yeah, I play on Xbox One. I'm not as good at this one than the last one because they changed the controls, but I got to get used to it. Flash to Shape chapter. Yes, I missed those. Yeah, so if I have to pick sports, I like baseball and basketball most. Football, I can never get it to. Harry Bean, what ifs shouldn't all be based on just events? I agree. They used to not be based on events. JLS says, have you ever used CGC or CBCS grading companies to encapsulate a book? So I haven't used one personally, but I have books that are CGC, so I bought them CGC'd. I have like a lot of signed books there, CGC'd. Me and my dad have a membership for it, and we're just like, we should really CGC some of our books, and we haven't done it yet. So hopefully next year, that's the New Year's resolution, CGC some books. Scotty says, last question. Hold on, actually, I think I skipped one. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't skip. Scotty says, last question, and it goes up. Last question. When was the moment you knew without a shadow of doubt Spider-Girl surpassed Kitty as numero uno on the Comic Uno list? I actually remember, I think I was like in the car talking to my brother, and he just like was like, do you like Kitty or Spider-Girl more? You have to pick. And he always asks me those type of questions. And I was like, you know what? I think I like Spider-Girl more. Because Kitty was on that number 1 spot for a really long time, and he was surprised that I picked Spider-Girl. But no one's taken down Spider-Girl for like the past decade. MT, how come we don't have a second season of Tiger and Bunny yet? I don't know. Anime usually doesn't really do second seasons. It's kind of more of a recent thing. They've been doing more of that. DNGN says never. Mayday's Bay. Flash Shape Chapter. What if we gave Mayday Parker another book? That's the true what if. Cat would flip out. I would. I definitely would. Jesse says a certain someone would be so happy about that. I wonder who that person is. So I guess, we have another question. The legend says, who do you think would win between Spider-Girl and Spider-Gwen in a random fight? Spider-Girl. She's much more experienced than Spider-Gwen. All right. I think that wraps us up here, guys. So I definitely will announce when the show is for the next Q&A for January. My guess would be like more towards the end of the month for January because, you know, it's a busy month. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the show, and hopefully you guys had a good time. And of course, again, Frontline Live tomorrow, Media Madness Friday on Comic Frontline if you'd like more live shows. And I will see you guys. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. So definitely go check out all those stuff. I'll see you guys later. Bye.